Welcome to a special on audio interfaces. A lot of these audio interfaces were introduced during the NAMM 2021 during the Believe in Music event. We bring you a short summary of the latest trends and interfaces here in this video. Starting off with MAudio's new lineup, the MAudio Amtrak Solo or Duo here, two new entry-level interfaces. Let's take a closer look at the layout quickly. One of the things that stands out is you see here in the Solo, they use actually unbalanced outputs here instead of balanced outputs with RCA connectors. It's connected here without any power supply, and that actually all goes over basic USB connectivity. If we take a look at the layout itself here at the right top, we can see there's three knobs here that control basic here, the two channels, with a clip indicator here, as well as phantom power LED and a main output control. Looking at the front here of the interface, we can see here there's only one combo jack here available for line and mic, and the second one here that you can control either a high C for guitar input or a line input. What also stands out is the 3.5mm input jack instead of the 1/4" input, and a direct out or USB switch, and the possibility to turn on the phantom power. Now, the more advanced model, the Amtrak Duo, provides here more control. In addition to that, what the Amtrak Solo provides, you have a separate knob here to control your headphone levels. In addition to channels that you can also control here on the top, as well as balanced outputs here at the back with a 1/4". Uses also USB, so no power supply needed. And other differences are that both channels have the possibility to switch either between microphone, line, and guitar. One of the other things that stands out, it uses a standard 1/4" headphone output and the possibility here to output either direct mono, direct stereo, or USB. So next in line is the Mackie Onyx USB audio interfaces. Now, Mackie has a successful mixer lineup, the Onyx lineup, which uses really good preamps, the Onyx Mic Pre Plus preamps that they also have integrated in this new interfaces here at a resolution of 24-bit and 192 kHz. What else is there to mention? If we compare them a little bit with the MAudio, we can see by default they are using 1/4" jacks here at the front. Otherwise, they're very similar here from the layout. One of the differences is also, if we look at the back here, their base model here, the Artist 1.2, has already outputs here, 1/4" outputs here that are balanced, as well as the Kensington lock. The connectivity is similar using here USB 2.0. Now, if we go further here at the Producer 2.2 model, we can see they have also integrated MIDI in and outputs for traditional MIDI gear that you can connect here too. Other than that, also balanced outputs, Kensington lock, and USB 2 connectivity. Tascam also surprises us with two new interfaces in their lineup during the event, the Tascam 102i and the 208i. Now, these interfaces, if we take a closer look here, provide already additional connectivity features, such as dedicated in and outputs for MIDI, and the balanced outputs by default here, Kensington lock, a dedicated on and off switch, an external power supply, a USB 2.0 connector, as well as their own optical in SMUX. This is a way to connect between their own audio interface lineup here and expand the possibilities. Now, if we take a look at the bigger one, that's the 208i model at the back here, you can see up to 8 balanced outputs here, word clock in and output with an impedance switch, as well as 2 of their SMUX connectors, a dedicated on-off switch, external power supply, and also USB 2.0 connectors. Audient has released their second generation of their successful ID4 and 14 interfaces, now featuring the ID4 Mark II and the ID14 Mark II. If we take a closer look here, we can clearly see the color has changed slightly to a darker tint here of metal. What has also changed is the additional headphone jack they now have included in their interfaces. According to Audient, they've also improved the dynamic range here. Now you're getting 120 dB for the AD converters, and up to 126 dB here for the DA converters. If we take a look, what has also changed is at the back, their connectivity. They're using now USB-C here, which means that it's bus powered, and you can actually get now all the juice that you need here to power this interface from your notebook or wherever you connect this interface to. Using here at the back balanced outputs, a 48-watt switch, as well as a combo jack rounds up this interface. Now taking a look here at the little bigger one here, the ID14 Mark II, same color scheme here, darker tone here, and tint of the metal. And at the back we can see also using now USB-C. In addition here to the ID4, it has here the ID14 Mark II, an optical input, two additional outputs as well here, and two combo checks here for mic line input. A Hong Kong-based company called Tsuga Technology has presented an audio interface that is called Tsuga. I don't think there's a specific model number. Unfortunately, at this point, we don't have a lot of specs here at this point, but we definitely will look into that and then keep you updated. But it's interesting to see there's something coming here from Hong Kong this year. Moving on to a company that's been out for a long time here, the SSL, originally founded by a gentleman named Colin Sanders here around 40 years ago, has released two new interfaces called the SSL2 and the SSL2 Plus audio interfaces. Now, as you can see here, they use here a very slick design as well here, targeting definitely people that are doing home productions or taking their interfaces around here. So all of the interfaces that we had previously also pretty much targeting a new market here for people producing here either on the go or just in their home studio. Now, if we look at that interface and considering all the history that it has, we have to say that there is a lot to expect from this one. Unfortunately, we haven't had it here for review yet and testing it out here and comparing it with. But what I can say here is it sounds very promising. They're using high-end here finishing. Their knobs and their connectors are all very high-end as well here. A couple of things to mention is their 4K switch here. That has nothing to do with anything of video. It's actually based on their consoles, and they're very famous for mixing consoles, big mixing consoles, and you can find them in a lot of very famous studios there. And this is pretty much an emulation in a way here to create this sound of the original legendary 4000 series here, console series. It's often described here as a little bit of a harmonic distortion and provides some kind of top-end brightness here. So at least that's what they're stating, and we're excited to have this for review once again here. What else is worth mentioning here is they use, if you take a closer look at the back here, some slick design, as I said. The difference between the two models, the SSL2 and the 2 Plus, is here that the Plus has an additional headphone mix feature. On top of that is also a mix control that controls what's coming in the channels versus what's coming back from the DAW. So their approach is really here based on their consoles here. That's why it's slight different features that you don't find here on other interfaces. Now, if we take a look at the back here for the SSL2 interface, you can see here USB-C connector, Kensington lock, a 1/4-inch headphone output here, two outputs here, also balanced outputs, and two combo checks here for their inputs. Now, if we look now here at the SSL2 Plus, as I said here, you have the additional switch here for the headphone mix control. Other than that, it's similar and exactly, I think, the same here than this. At the back, we can see there's some additional things here. Also, once again, that also has MIDI in and output, same USB-C connector now. The headphones, actually two outphones, and it has in addition to that outputs also with RCA. So I think they're definitely targeting some kind of market of DJs and people actually using more like traditional speakers or their home stereo system for that. And two input combo checks here as well round up that. But we definitely want to take a closer look into that and see how the quality is of these interfaces. Antelope Audio is bringing us a brand new interface and filling their product lineup with the most portable interface out yet. It's called the Sango Synergy Core interface. This is an advanced interface providing us DSP processing power. It comes right out of the box with 37 modeled effects processors. They also emphasize on their 64-bit AFC technology. Now, as you know, Antelope Audio is very well known for their master clocks, so there's definitely a lot of quality to expect. And we would like to see that in one of our comparisons and reviews. Let's take a look here at the top view. It comes with an advanced IPS display, and everything is controlled simply by the 3 buttons here and the rotary knob. Now, what else is there to mention? Looking at the connectors right at the front, you can see it comes already with 2 headphone outputs. That seems to be trending, and I've seen that in other interfaces. What else is there to mention here? A couple other unique things. First of all, you get 2 combo checks here as input. You can switch between line, high impedance for your guitars, or simply your microphone. What stands out is here the division into balanced and unbalanced RCA connectors, which definitely the company targets here 2 different markets, including DJs and home users here, that let you simply have the choice. One of the other things to mention is you're also getting a digital in and output port, which is really nice if you want to connect digital and don't lose any quality. Now, what's definitely stand out here on this interface are the 2 USB Type-C connectors. And these are meant here really for 2 different scenarios. One of them is if you have this in the studio all day and don't want to drain your notebook power, you can simply connect one of these connectors to a power supply, draining power and running it over that, while you simply have the data connection to your notebook. But when you're on the go, you can take advantage of the USB Type-C bus-powered feature simply using just one connector that drains the battery out of your notebook, but you have the flexibility here. Nice feature that I haven't seen in other interfaces out yet. And the interface, of course, has a Kensington lock to make your interface secure in public spaces. Black Lion Audio, a company well known for their preamps, compressors, and word clocks, is bringing us a brand new interface. In fact, it is their first time ever audio interface out there on the market, and it's called the Revolution 2x2, or 2x2. Now, what's there to say about the interface? Based on the specs that we have received, the company is giving us 192 kilohertz and 24-bit of resolution, promising a macro MMC clock that's brand new here, developed and integrated in that interface. Taking a look here at the slick design, providing two combo jack-ins here with gain controls, a meter, a main monitor controller, direct out feature, headphone control, and one headphone jack at the front. If we take a look back here, everything is connected with USB Type-C, so it's bus powered, and it provides also balanced outputs here, as well as SP-DIF connectivity in and outputs. So there's definitely more to look into, and I hope we have it for review here soon. Moving on to Lyra 1 and Lyra 2 audio interfaces by Prism Sound here. You can see two analog digital audio input channels, two digital analog audio line output channels, and an SP-DIF in and output here on the Lyra 1. Basic connectivities. They have a built-in power supply as well here, and it's connected by the regular USB interface connection. Now, the Lyra 2 offers, in addition to that, also word clock features and an AES3 mode on the RCA phono outputs. And you can see here it has actually two more inputs as well, and two mic inputs here compared to the Lyra 1. The last interface that we're looking at is coming from Avid Pro Tools. Uses the Avid Pro Tools Carbon. Now, this is a high-end interface in 19-inch rack size, providing machine-made aluminum knobs. What's impressive is here the 32-bit converters and promising 2040p plus operating levels that provides a lot of headroom and makes it really hard to clip. According to Avid, the mic inputs do not provide pad feature, meaning there's less components in the signal path for more transparent workflow. What's unique is the 4 headphone inputs. There's also, if you look at the back here, a foot switch for talkback features. Now, what's also special about this interface is the clocking. Avid has developed their own Jet PLL technology, which runs at 100 MHz instead of conventional 50 MHz, which provides better resolution and promising lower jitter. What makes it special is also the integrated DSP chips. It's all based on their HDX lineup, providing here 8 DSP chips. So you really can mix here between native processing and DSP. Definitely something to worth and take a look at if you are a Pro Tools user. I hope you enjoyed this overview of all the latest releases here from the Believe in Music event. Thanks for watching.